When I was 7 years old, my brother and I broke into a church in Carson City. They charged us with a felony in 1988. I was 7 years old. I was on probation for 60 days and I didn't get arrested. And so in my young mind, I'm like, ooh, here's a way I can keep myself safe. So I went out and broke the law again. My earliest memory of this was playing at my grandmother's house on the stairs. It was a forbidden zone. You're not allowed to go upstairs. I didn't even recall why. And then my mother clarified that. It didn't start when you were 5. Your uncle started to you when you were 3.
So that was the reason why you weren't allowed upstairs.
Because your uncle was there.
When I was 15, me and a buddy broke into a house and got arrested. So here it comes. I'm 15 years old and I've got 12 felonies. I put on so many masks. It was so hard to know who I was. And then they opened the doors up on December 13th, 2002 and was like, your time's done. Here's $75 and 3 condoms. Go get them, champ.
To be able to put yourself in a position to spend the rest of your life helping other people to change. If you can do it, Sonny, we all can do that.
I was just such a fucking train wreck of a human being, dude. I robbed somebody the first day I was out with a screwdriver at a gas station. I had no conscience. I didn't care about life. I knew I was gonna die in prison. We're all made to love, to be loved, all right? And to be broken like that.
Oldish. The art of knowing more and caring less. With your host, Randy Spelling, Brian Austin Green, and Sharna Burgess.
Welcome back to another episode of Oldish, you guys. This conversation today is one for the books. Let me tell you about Sonny Von Cleveland. He experienced incredible abuse from a very young age. He then went into 18 years of being imprisoned, solitary confinement. You would imagine that this man's story leads him to just more of the same, but that is not what happened. This is a story of transformation. If you have ever been wondering if you can heal from trauma, if you have ever been wondering if you can get past your past and not let it define you, if you've ever been wondering what you can turn it into, this story is one that will inspire you to find that way. And maybe it will just inspire you to share it with someone else that's going to need that information. But Sonny Von Cleveland is one of the most incredible conversations we've had here on Oldish, and I am so excited for you to hear it. He is the co-founder of Frisky Business Cat Cafe. He is the founder of the Von Cleveland Foundation. He is the author of the book, Hey White Boy, Conversations of Redemption. So this isn't just a story about surviving awful circumstances. It is a story of transforming. Everybody enjoy.
Sonny Von Cleveland, welcome to Oldish.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate you.
So great having you here.
Thanks.
So good to have you here. We are going to get right into your story. This is a 4-hour long, what seems like a movie.
It should be.
It should be.
Maybe that's a next step. Yeah, for sure.
So let's go back to where you grew up, how you grew up, and just walk us through what happened to start you on the path of getting convicted and winding up in jail.
Yeah. Well, and forgive me, I'm a little under the weather, so I'll try to keep the sniffles down.
All good.
All good.
I grew up in Carson City, Michigan, with a single mom home. Me and my brother had a 19-month-old, or my brother was 19 months older than me. And it's funny, when you read the book's kind of inaccurate at this point. So when I wrote the book, we put it to press. I called my mother. My wife and I are laying in bed, and I called my mother and kind of gave her the rundown of everything. And she said, well, there's only 4 guys in there? It's like, what do you mean? She's like, what about the old man that used to give you the money? What about my ex-boyfriend in the van? What about Robbie Wheeler? Like,
wow.
Shit.
So this is you being molested by these other men, but she remembered other men that you didn't even know about.
It gets way deeper. So yeah, like I blocked out 3 other men from my life. I just completely compartmentalized it in another section of my brain, and it didn't even hit until she said that sentence. Right? Both my wife and I are like, and it just came rushing back like, oh man. And in the book I talk about, in the very beginning, you'll hear about how I was not allowed upstairs at my grandmother's house. So we used to go to my grandma's house every week, every weekend, every holiday. we had this big family that was my grandma, my grandpa, my Uncle Mike lived at home with them, and all the aunts and uncles would come out, cousins, and we would all do every holiday. And my earliest memory of this was playing at my grandmother's house on the stairs. It was a forbidden zone. You're not allowed to go upstairs. And I didn't even recall why. And then my mother clarified that, right? It didn't start when you were 5. It started when you were 3. Your uncle started to you when you were 3. And we found out, and we got him mental health counseling, and you were no longer allowed upstairs.
So that was the reason why you weren't allowed upstairs.
Because your uncle was there.
Because my uncle was molesting me from the time I was 3.
But still, you would be brought into the house.
They just swept it under the rug under this one. And my first thought was, why the hell was I even taken back to the house?
Right.
Why wasn't that guy like shot in the face or put in prison?
Right.
And yeah, so I vividly recall at 5 years old. That's when I remember the molestation starting. I don't recall 3 and 4, so I don't know what happened. But this, the threats being 5 years old from my uncle saying, you know, if you tell anybody, I'm going to have to hurt the whole family. It paralyzes you as a kid, right? Like, this is a big human being, and you don't want nobody to get hurt. So in my young mind, I'm like, I'm not saying anything, but I'm also dealing with this abuse. And shortly after, my mom's boyfriend starts to molest me as well, Daryl Hall, not the Hall and Oates Daryl Hall.
Right.
I didn't even know that was his name. He starts molesting me. My mom's friend Tim, a few months later, starts molesting me, Tim Klinger, going over to his house. And so all of a sudden, I'm finding myself, I'm being molested all the time. Like, what's happening here? And when I was 7, enduring this the whole time. When I was 7 years old, my brother and I broke into a church in Carson City, and got arrested. And they charged us with a felony in 1988. I was 7 years old. And I can't fathom for the life of me why you would charge a 7 and an 8-year-old with felonies. But going back and looking at it, my mom was this big anti-government protester in our small little town. So she would make us like hold picket signs in the park downtown. Like, and I mean, it was embarrassing at the time, right? And you look back on it, but you ruffled the right feathers. And I'm pretty sure that it was, you know, the cops' way of getting back at my mother. Like, oh, here's your son getting in trouble. Look at this. And they charged us. So I went and saw Edward L. Skinner, the Honorable, and he gave me 60 days probation, and, you know, he was convicted of a felony at 7. So when I got put on probation, all the probation stopped. Like, I wasn't allowed to leave. I couldn't go anywhere. So we couldn't go to Grandma's house. We weren't going to Tim's house. Daryl, I don't know, he was a truck driver, and I guess he just disappeared. But I was on probation for 60 days, and I didn't get molested. And so when I got off probation, we went right to Grandma's house. Oh, celebrate. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. And boom, right back into the fire, and I'm getting molested again. And so in my young mind, I'm like, ooh, here's a way I can keep myself safe. So I went out and broke the law again, got put back on probation. And like, I found this cycle of protecting myself. I don't have to tell on them. I catch an ass whooping from mom, and all is well. I'm on probation, which is just a word at 7, 8 years old, right? Like, it's not really affecting my life any. In fact, it's keeping me safe. And so that became the trajectory of my life. You know, every few months I was getting arrested and getting into trouble. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, doing dumb things, breaking into a store, or stealing a bike and destroying it, or smashing somebody's windows, or doing something stupid and staying on probation. And that kept me safe. Well, that has a consequence as you go down the road, right? I never did anything that was enough for the judge to want to put me in juvie or take me away from home. It was always just, you're a bad kid, knock it off. And probation. Next time, and next time never happened. I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. And so my brother was taken away when I was 11. He was 12. We decided to steal my mother's car. We didn't want to live at home anymore. And we stole my mom's car. It was a 1988 Ford Escort. And we drove to Chicago, just an 11 and a 12-year-old kid. Drove to Chicago. We got arrested in Hodgkins, Illinois at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's a suburb of Chicago. And that's the last time I saw my brother until I was 21. Like, they took him away, And because he was driving, he stole the car. And so they took him away. But when they put him in detention, he escaped and then stole another car and then just spiraled out of control. So he got locked up when I think I was actually 12 and he was 13.
Sorry to interrupt you for a moment. Was your brother also experiencing abuse?
So it turns out he had been molested by my uncle a couple of times. My brother was a very outspoken and tough kid.
Okay.
Right? If he ain't like something, you're going to know it.
Okay.
And so
understood.
I think that's what happened because my uncle only molested him a couple of times, which I know that sounds bad saying that. Once is too much.
Right.
But come to find out all these years later, my cousin Jared actually sent me a message on Instagram. Haven't talked to him in 35 years, and it happened to him too, and severely bad. All the cousins.
Okay, sorry. So back to the story. He's been taken away. You didn't see him again until you're 21. You're 11 at this point.
And it's hard to keep things in context because there's just so much to it,
yes,
right?
Of course.
When I was 10, I told on my uncle because I did something that I got in a lot of trouble for. I don't even really remember, but I broke down and just told my mother, like my Uncle Mike is touching me. And she lost her mind, called the cops. He gets arrested, gets put in prison for 15 years. This is when, in my young mind, all his threats come true because my whole family fell apart. There was no more going to grandma's house. There's no more holidays. All of the cousins are gone. Half of the family's blaming me. Half of them are saying I'm lying.
Blaming you?
Yeah. They were like, he's sick and you are going up there on purpose. Like,
you're 10 years old.
Unfortunately, this is more common.
I know.
It's so common. Victims get blamed so much.
Yes.
I know.
And I really went into a shell at that point, like, because it's my fault. Right? Like, we don't get to go to grandma's house anymore. We don't have family time anymore. This is my fault. I should have just kept my mouth shut.
That's what I was wondering, Sonny, is how much of this, because it's one thing to look back in retrospect now, you know so much, you've come through it. Back then, do you remember what would go through your head? Did you blame yourself? Did you have a thought that something that you were doing was leading all of these people to do this to you?
So, yeah. For sure. As a kid, I mean, it happens. I mean, I'm being 3-4 times a week most of my life as a child, right? Like, it became commonplace, right? It got to the point where you learn how to zone out almost.
Yeah.
And so I was big into music. I used to hide off in the closet whenever adults were around at home, and I would just go to the closet with my mom's tape box and just get lost in music. And so music became an escape for me. Which is why I ended up blocking out these other 3 men, because I've done so much subconscious regression from this abuse that it just became commonplace. And internally, I'm struggling because I'm also this very extroverted kid. I love to perform and make people laugh and smile, and all the abuse is making me this introverted kid. So this dichotomy is happening inside of me that I don't know how to deal with. And so that's where the trouble's coming from. Like, God, if I just keep getting in trouble, but the trouble's not making them stop either, right? Like, I'm on probation and I'm okay while I'm there. But even then now, as I get older, 10 and 11, and it was bad. So he got sent to prison, the family fell apart. And that's when I started to try to figure out how to repel these men from doing these things. And so, like, I never took a shower. My hygiene was horrible because I thought if I stunk, they'd leave me alone. That made me a target in school for bullies, right? And so I got thrashed in school. School was terrible for me. It was horrible. We were dirt poor, so I didn't have, I got $3 shoes from Payless, which just got me picked on even more. But then as I got into like 10, 11, 12 years old, it really turned violent, right? Like I got my ass whooped all the time from the high schoolers and the wrestling team. And I was just a target for them. Also because I didn't tell. I was so used to not telling and being silent that after I told on my uncle and everything fell apart, I never said anything about anybody.
Right.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut and just endure. And, suicidal thoughts when you're 11 and 12 years old is ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Like me thinking like, what is it? What am I, what about me is this? Am I gay? Am I giving off some kind of vibe? Cause I don't feel that way. I shouldn't even be having these thoughts at 12 years old.
No.
So then I started drinking and getting into alcohol. And then when I was 13, that's when I started having sex on my own with women. Like I was overtly sexual with women because I'm maybe trying to prove to myself, like, I don't know why they're doing this. Right. And so that led me down a pretty dark path. I don't have my brother. My mother is gone most of the time. She's in drug addiction and alcohol and trying to hide it. So on the surface, she's got this facade of a well put together single mother home. She works hard and, so it was a very lonely experience, I'm by myself a lot in the woods, and I kept getting into trouble. And when I was 15, me and a buddy broke into a house, stole a couple of pedal bikes, stole a cell phone out of a car in a parking lot at the hospital in Carson City, and got arrested. So here it comes. I'm 15 years old and I've got 12 felonies on my record, right? And so 17 days after I turned 16, I had to go in for sentencing, and the judge was done. He's like, I stole $2,000 out of the safe from my school. I was a bad kid at this point. And he gave me 6 months in the county jail for that. And so I was like, oh man, I've never been locked up before. I don't know what to do. It's a very small town county jail. It's full of a bunch of drunk white people. And while I'm there, all these new charges are coming in. And they're like, you've got 5 felonies faced now. You're facing 5 felonies. And so they bound me over to adult court. And then he was like, I'm sending you to the Michigan Department of Corrections for 24 to 60 months. I didn't even know what that meant, right? I'm like, well, what does that mean? Look at my lawyer, and he just sent you to prison. I'm like prison?
Like
prison?
grown-up prison.
Like Shawshank Redemption prison? He's like, yeah. I'm like, but dude, I'm 16 years old. Nothing. And then a couple weeks later, my mother moved out of state with her boyfriend, took off. So I was all by myself.
Because you were in prison.
Oh, I was in county. I hadn't even got sent to prison yet. She came and visited me and said, I'm leaving.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, what am I supposed to do? She was like,
the abandonment's unbelievable.
she's like, you'll figure it out. You got to man up. Okay, guess I'll figure it out. And yeah. So a couple weeks after the sentencing, I'm on a gray goose to Riverside, which is in Ionia, Michigan. It's the quarantine. And so they did separate 20 and under and 21 and older. They went to Jackson for quarantine. We would go to Riverside. But it's mixed with level 4 regular inmates, right? And so they're the ones that do all the orientation and the onboarding and the teaching. So I get there, and the first week I was raped by 2 dudes that ran into the cell. And I mean, he had this big ass knife, and he just puts it in my neck and comes in the door and is like, you know what it is, right? You scream, you fight, you're dead. Like, this is nothing new to me, man. So yeah, for 15 minutes, they had their way with me. And I remember just sitting there on my bed, like, I can't go through. I'm like, what do you think in this moment, right? Like, I'm a week into prison. I'm going to be here for I've never seen anything like this. I'm from a small town. I'm 6'6", 175 pounds of long, greasy hair. I have horrible hygiene habits. I'm dead, right? Like, this isn't going to go well. And so I grabbed up some pencils, and just out of pure rage, I went across the hall and just started stabbing the hell out of the guy in the face.
One of the guys that held
That
a
raped
knife
you.
to you and raped you.
And it didn't do a lot of damage. They're just small pencils, but it looked horrible.
Yeah.
Right? He doesn't know what's happening. There's blood going everywhere, and he's screaming, and I run back into my cell, and they come down and they take him away. And that was the moment that just literally, I felt dead, right? Like, I'm dead. Like, this is it. I just screwed up. They're going to charge me again. I'm going to spend even more time in prison. I don't care. I gave up. I just don't care. Whatever. And nothing happened. They took him away. I heard the other guy calling, screaming, saying he's going to get me too. And they came and got him, took him away. Bunkie came back. None of your business. Nothing happened. I'm laying there all night like I know they're coming. Nothing happened. Next day, wake up, go out to breakfast, and you could feel it in the air that all of a sudden, like, these guys respected me.
You got credibility because
They were like,
did that.
Don't mess with that one, right? He may be skinny and tall, but that dude, he'll put in work.
Wow.
And so I felt this like this feeling of all of a sudden safety and power. Like, I'm going to do that again. I have to stab somebody else. Right? I'm going to let it be. And this is how I'm going to protect myself. And so I was there for about 30 days, and I got transferred to a level 4 prison in Lapeer. So after your quarantine, you go to actual prison. And on the bus was this guy named Lalo, and they give you your itinerary so you know who you're going to bunk with, and we were going to be bunkies. And so he was part of a gang. I'm from the country. I've never seen gangs in my life, right? Tupac is as close as I ever got to a gang. And when we get to the facility, he's reminding me like, dude, I saw what you did. That was pretty solid, man. If you want to join, man, I can go introduce you to head on the yard, and we could use somebody like you. You're a good soldier. Absolutely. Let's make that happen.
Right.
And then go out and I meet the leader on the yard, and he's like, yeah, man, he spoke up on you. He gave his word on you. If you want in, here's a knife. There's the other team.
That's the
Off
initiation.
you went.
Yep, went over there and stabbed the shit out of him, and thus started the downfall for me.
Right.
Like, I started to get ingratiated into gang culture, and I started to learn, like, you got to wash your ass in prison. The boys aren't playing that. Get your ass in the shower.
Right. Right.
So I started to develop that habit. I got my hair cut down to a fade, a high top fade, started getting tattoos everywhere, and I embodied being this gangbang. I started to fight every day. Let's fight. I'll fight my friends. I don't care who you are. I need to get tough. I'm in a weight pit, fighting, stabbing people, and that became the course of my life. Right? And so for the next 5 years, that's what it was. I was trained and raised with wolves. And by the time that 5 years was up, I was a completely different human being. I had been so lost in 5 years of warfare that I put on so many masks. It was so hard to know who I was. And then they opened the doors up on December 13th, 2002, and was like, your time's done. You're $75 and 3 condoms. Go get them, champ.
Wow, and from
My
16 to 21, so you have no idea how to actually live, how to function in the world, and now you're out.
I walk outside, and there's my mother and my brother for the first time since I was 12 years old. There's my brother. Except, so when we were kids, my brother was this big, tough guy in the neighborhood. He would beat up the kids that beat me up. He was kind of I worshiped my brother. Like, he was God to me. And we got out, and now he's just like the small guy. And like, I'm bigger, I'm tougher, I'm meaner, I'm harder. I got you, little brother. I'll protect you. Don't worry about it. And I was just such a train wreck of a human being, dude. I robbed somebody the first day I was out with a screwdriver at a gas station. I had no conscience. I didn't care about life. I didn't care about anything. I knew I was going to die in prison, right? Even getting out, this is temporary. I know that, right? I'm either going to become the next Scarface or I'm going to die, one or the other.
Do you think you had more safety and protection in prison than you had anywhere else in your life? Did you prefer being in prison?
I knew how to survive there, but not just survive, but thrive.
Right.
Right. I felt safe. I knew my lane. I had a reputation. People knew me. Like, I don't get messed with. That was the last time anybody will ever victimize me in my life, was those 2 men in quarantine.
Right.
I put my flag in the ground at that point. I'll die first. Right.
And of course, because this shit's been happening since you were 3. Yeah. You never had a chance to be a human being without that. I digress. You should continue telling your story. I'm sorry.
No, by all means.
I'm enraged for you over here as someone that has kids in those ages. I am just sorry, please. So you're out. You've made it out, and you've already robbed someone day one.
Yeah, and I was just such a bad human being, right? Like,
you weren't. You were broken.
I was. I look back at it now. I've forgiven myself a long time ago. It's still hard for me because I think that as human beings, we're all made from love, right? Like, we're all we're all made to love, to be loved, right? And to be broken like that, right? And I caused so much pain. And I look back at it like, Jesus, I feel bad for that kid, right? And I feel bad for the people that I hurt because I was so lost. And I had no fear. I had no self-conscious. I got 2 women pregnant. I started robbing drug dealers all across the country, from Sacramento all the way to Michigan. Just horrible. And I lasted 20 months. And in September 2004, I got arrested again and charged with 15 more felonies. And like, I knew it was coming, right? Like, I knew it was coming. And so I pled out to 12 years. And I went back, and it was pretty much the same thing, except this time I had 2 kids. And so I had met Nikki, who was my oldest son's mother, through my brother when I got out. She was at the house the day I got out. And so he used to date her sister, her older sister, Chelsea, for years. And he's like, this is my little sister. I'm like, well, I don't have a sister. And her and I hit it off really well. And she got pregnant. And so when we got arrested on this one, my brother told on me. We were together. And there were 3 of us. I got away. The other 2 got caught, and they told on me.
Why?
And his excuse was, we thought you got away, and this is what you'd want us to do so we could get out. We figured you'd get away.
Right.
Wow.
Sure. Okay.
So he told on me. And so now
It's another level of betrayal.
Nikki hates him, right? Like, I can't believe you just got my son's father put in prison for 12 more years. So fast forward, we're in prison for a couple of years, and I get a letter from my brother. And he says, dude, I'm so sorry. You know, I wouldn't have done that, blah, blah, blah. I thought that's what you want. I was confused. I was scared. And I love my brother, right? Like, just the only human being on the planet that ever protected me, right? I love this guy. And he's like, I just saw the parole board. We have more charges that are pending against us. They're not going to give me a decision. Can you help me?
Can you
take
help
the blame?
him?
So I did. I went back into court, and I said it was just me. I was all by myself, that he was nowhere around, and took 10 more charges. And they dropped the charges against him, and he got a parole. And I get another letter from him a couple weeks later. Like, dude, I got my parole. Thank you so much, blah, blah, blah. I got a parole to this homeless shelter, but, you know, I'll figure it out, blah, blah, blah. Nikki, I need you to let Frank come stay at the house. Hell no. Like,
And she hated him.
she hates him. I'm not letting that dude here. You realize our son doesn't have his father because of this asshole.
Yeah.
He's my brother, Nikki. My loyalty is second to none. Like, I love him. He's all I have in this world for family that's ever cared, right? Does he care?
Right.
Fine, whatever. You'll parole to Nikki's house. You can stay there for a couple months, help her out with bills, help her with Caden. He's your nephew, blah, blah, blah. He gets out. I called him and talked to him the day he got out. And that was the last time that I heard from him, her, or my son for several months. And I'm like, what is going on? I can't get a hold. I call every day, twice a day. I call in the morning. I call at night. I talk to my son every day. She brings my son up to see me once a week. To nothing. Like, what happened?
Okay, wait. Curious before you even move on. Because I just have to know that level of uncertainty, anxiety. You get your brother out, and he's staying there. You talk to him the first day, and then there's no contact with any of them.
Zero contact.
How did you even manage that?
You don't have a choice. The clock's going to keep moving. Count's going to be in an hour. You got to go to chow. I just sat there for hours, just like, what the fuck is happening?
Right.
I'm terrified. I'm thinking they got into an accident. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And like 3 months later in October, I'm still trying every day. I try every day. I don't give up. And like 3 months later, phone answers. This call is a collect. Holy shit.
What's going on?
Hello? Hi. Nikki, oh shit, what is going on? Like, I haven't heard from you in months. What is that? You're going to hate me. Why would I hate? I'm not going to hate you. I'm pregnant. okay, I'm doing 12 years in prison. I don't expect you to be a nun, right? Like, I figured you're going to get laid at some point. It's not a big deal. We'll raise the kid, blah, blah, blah. No. It's Frank's. And to this day, I can't be in a room with him.
Yeah, I understand that.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't be in a room with that guy. Like, I still don't have a relationship with my oldest son because he was raised his whole life thinking my brother's his father. He didn't know until I got out of prison that I was his dad.
They told him that you.
He
Frank
calls
was
him
his
dad to this day. And they all live together. They all have a happy family. They're still married.
Sonny.
And it's like, fuck this world.
Right.
I was right in the beginning. There's no reason to be a good human being. There's no point. Like, this world is full of selfish, uncaring. There is no loyalty. There's nothing, right? I'm here to get what I can get, how I can get it. I'm done. And I gave up again. And so I became the most acerbic, violent asshole. I was already a pretty violent guy anyway, but this was worse. And so a couple weeks later, a young gangbanger that had just got there decided to steal everything out of my cell. While I was at work, I worked in the chow hall. So we were gone until like lunch. And I come back from work one day and my bunkie standing outside. You could just see he was just pissed. I'm like, what's up? Our cell is empty. And this isn't nothing new, right? It happens a lot. People get your cell open, run in, steal everything. Except I'm very well known. I have a lot of connect. You picked the wrong one. Mm-hmm. Within 5 seconds, I got 10 people like, hey, it's that dude Flint, man. Flint did it. So, yeah, I strapped my weight pit straps around my hands, that you used to keep the bars on, and I put my master locks on there so I couldn't lose them. And when they opened the doors, I beat this guy. And it wasn't even, I feel bad for this kid. Like, you just stole some shit. You didn't know any better. You got all of that rage of all my life, my brother, everything. I beat this dude until they gassed me. Like, they're sitting there. The COs are begging me to stop. Fuck you. I'm going to kill this dude. And they gassed me and there's blood everywhere. And we're right out on the yard. They tackle me. They hog tie me, take me down to segregation to the hole. And they cart me all the way down the hallway and they throw me into a cell. And I back up. They take the cuffs off. And I can't see anything. I got blood and pepper spray all on my face. And then I hit the sink and and then I hear this, hey, white boy. What the fuck? Hey, white boy. Look out the door and across the hall is this old black Muslim dude. Hey, white boy, come talk to me, man. I'm like, man, F you, bro. And I just spazzed on him, right? Cuss him out. Do you know who you're talking to, bro? Shut the man, I will kill you, bro. Stop. Do you see how I look right now? Don't be the next, right? Like, well, okay, all right, okay, tough guy. And every day, hey, white boy. Hey, man, come holler at me, man. You, bro, shut up. Stop talking to me, bro. I don't want to talk. Oh, man, we got down here. It's just he and I at the end of the rock, right? All the other inmates are down there, and we're just separated. And we can only see half of each other because the wall kicks out and there's fire extinguishers. So we're literally like this in the window. About a week later, I go down and I see the security classification committee. And it's a panel that gives you your sentence after you get in trouble. They say, this guy's in a coma. And if he dies, we're going to charge you with murder. And we'll see to it that you spend the rest of your life in prison. As it sits, we're going to give you 60 months in the hole. And go lay down. We'll see you in 5 years and see if you're ready to get out. All right. So they take me back up to the cell. 60 months, 5 years of this.
And what is this cell like? So this is like solitary confinement?
Yeah. So it's you literally, the door slides open. There's a cement bunk along the back wall. There's a cement table built into the wall. There's a silver toilet over here. And there's a sliver of a window on the back wall. And that's it. That's it. That's all that's in here. So, all right. So I'm going to be here for a while. And I'm no stranger to the hole. I've been to the hole. I've probably spent at that point 3 or 4 years already in solitary confinement, right? I've did a lot of time in the hole. And as soon as they close the door and leave, hey, white boy, what happened? What? I'm like, dude, what? What do you want, man? He said, I just want to ask you something. Why are you so angry? I'm like, what kind of question is that, dude? Are you kidding me? You've been hounding me this whole time, and that's the question you want to ask? I'm in prison. My life sucks. You won't shut up. I'm in the hole. There's a lot of reasons why I'm angry. He said, no, man. That's why you're mad. Mad is a surface emotion. It's temporary, right? You're a very angry young man. Anger cuts to your soul. Like, shut up. I don't talk to you. I went back pacing my cell, and I couldn't for the life of me answer the question. I'm like, God, I am so angry. I'm always angry. And I look back and I'm thinking on this, like, I've been angry most of my life. I've been a very angry human being. And I've been a victim my whole life. Right? That's why I'm so angry. I feel like I have the right to be angry. And so I went and I told him, I just said, screw, what do I have to lose? I'm just going to dump everything on him. And I just told him my whole life. And when I'm done, he's like, so? Like, bro, I'm seriously going to stab you, man. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I just poured my heart out to this guy, and it's like, well, what are you going to do about it? Right? Like, you're going to just let it destroy you? Like, you're only like 27 years old, right? Like, this doesn't have to be the rest of your life. I'm like, dude, look, my life is over, bro. My life is toast. He's like, that's because that's what you're telling yourself. Like, it doesn't have to be. He's like, I'm going to send you a book. And he sent me a book over. It's Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. One of the best books I've ever read. Book changed my life. And I can't forget that sentence. Suffering ceases to be suffering the moment you give it a purpose. Such is the meaning of sacrifice. And I read this book of all the stuff Viktor Frankl goes through. He's this prominent Jewish man who has a beautiful family, a great jewelry business. And then one day Nazis knock on his door, take him all to Auschwitz. And he watches his entire family, all his friends get experimented on, exterminated. And the whole time he's trying to inspire everybody. He's smiling and he's walking through this environment of hell and he's being positive. And he says, when we can no longer control our environment, we're challenged to control this. They cannot take this away from us. This is the last of human freedom, is the freedom to choose. And I'm like, God, I suck. What I've been through is nothing compared to what this dude's gone through. And I used it as an excuse to hurt people. He uses an excuse to inspire people. Why can't I do that? But you can. It's a choice. I don't even know where to begin, right? And so I'm talking to him, and he sends me over this other book called The Likability Factor. And I started to read through this book, and it just made me hate myself, right? So this is a book on how to be a likable person, right? The L factor, the likability factor, key ways that people will like you. And as I'm going through it, I'm like, I possess none of this, right? I am not anything like this. And he's like, that's because you choose not to. I was like, well, you can't choose who you are. He said, yeah, why can't you? You absolutely can. Think about it. When you walk out of these doors, nobody knows who you are. So you could be anybody you wanted to be. You can choose your personality. I'm like, can you? Make it a habit, right? A thought done repetitiously becomes a habit. A habit done repetitiously becomes a personality, right? If you practice saying something kind to somebody every day, in 6 months, you're just a kind person. It's a personality. You're just a nice guy. You just say nice things to people all the time because it's a habit for you, right? And I'm like, wow. So he took me down through this metamorphosis of, what do you want out of life? What means something to you? Right? Like, if you could do something to all these dudes that have abused you, what would you do? I'd kill them. I'd torture them. I'd bind them up and I'd kill them. And does that change the fact that you were raped? No. So then what happens if you do that? All I do is deteriorate my soul even more, right? I just feed into it. Forgiveness. Why would I forgive them? They're not worthy of forgiveness. It's not for them. It's for you, right? You holding on to that rage and not forgiving them only keeps you a slave to it. When you learn to let that go and forgive them, you're free. They don't even have to know that you forgave them. You have to let it go because it's holding you hostage. And so I started this process of, how do I get forgiven? All these people that I've hurt, these homes that I've broken into, these families I've probably destroyed, right? If you think about that, imagine being the 7-year-old, 8-year-old boy that comes home and your house has been ransacked. You no longer trust it. Your parents can protect you. A wife comes home. She doesn't feel like her family's safe. Or a husband might come back and feel like he can't protect his family. I caused that. And I'm like, shit. I don't even know them. How can I seek their forgiveness? I don't know who they are. It's about the intention, right? You put it out to the universe, your genuine remorse. And God, Buddha, Allah, whatever you call them, will put it on their hearts. So I started to write these letters to these people that I don't even know who they are. And at first, it's just a bunch of excuses. I broke into your house, stole your stuff, broke all your things because I was raped, I was abused, I had a horrible life, I was bad. And I would send these over to Mallory, and that was his name, by the way. And he would send them back like, dude, this is crap. This is all excuses. There's no remorse in this thing. You're just making an excuse for why you did what you did. Rewrite it. So I'd rewrite it. Nope, sucks. Rewrite it. Rewrite it. Put your heart into it, man. And so after a long process, it became just pure remorse, right? Like, there is no excuse. I'm so sorry, right? Like, what I've done to you, what I potentially could have caused you, like, there's no excuse for it. I was selfish. I was careless. I had no conscience. You didn't deserve it. I'm so sorry. I wish I could take it back. I'd change it if I could. And then I started to read the letters out loud. Once it was Mallory approved, like, that's a remorseful letter. Started to read them out loud and just put it out to the world. And then I flushed them down the toilet. And it was like a weight just got lifted off. And I started to see, like, man, I can do stuff different in life, right? Like, I don't, he's right. I'm going to be 35. If the guy doesn't die and I don't get a new charge, I'll be 35 when I get out. Like, that's so much time left. I get to choose how I'm going to do the rest of this. Like I don't have to be angry. Let it go, man. Let it go. And I mean, I went through everything. I worked out till I couldn't move. I rolled up my mattress and beat it till my knuckles bled. Like, I did everything to release as much anger and aggression as possible. But it's really in our voice where our healing is, right? I must have looked like a nut job because I just talked to myself all day. But in talking to myself, I'm reading my forgiveness letters. I'm speaking about my pain and my forgiveness and healing, and I'm crying and I'm screaming and I'm freaking in depression. I went through, couldn't sleep and night sweats and, didn't eat. But then this breakthrough just came, and I started to notice that the environment started to change around me. I started to write, and I started to write poetry and spoken word stuff. And I would submit it to the library. And I noticed the COs are starting to be nicer to me. I started to be nice to the COs. Because I've been an absolute dick to COs, right? Like, I don't like you. You're on the opposite side of the team. You are on that side of the fence. I'm on this side. The only thing protecting you is a new case in this steel door, right? And so I switched that. I started to smile at them. And I started to wish them good morning or say good night or, hey, see you tomorrow. And I started to notice that, oh, hey, we got an extra tray. You want that? Shit. Hell yeah. And I'm outside. If I do go to the rec cages, your hour's up. You can stay for another 20, 30 minutes if you want. In the shower, you got 10 minutes. You can stay. Don't worry about it. We'll get the other guys first.
Wow.
Like, I'm changing the way that they're perceiving me from this cell.
Did that help you to change even more? Because at this point, not only are you feeling different by doing everything you can in your cell, writing letters, speaking to yourself, reading, but then also you're starting to see the effect of what you're doing. Did that give you more hope?
Yeah, sure.
You're seeing results.
It inspired me. Like, I'm changing my world from this little cell. I never thought I could change it out there, let alone in this. I'm never out of here. I'm in here all the time. And so these I'm submitting poetry every month because they're doing these contests every month in a prison. And so one day the ADW knocks on the door. I wrote this long poem called From Monstrous to Magnanimous, right? And it was basically what I hoped to achieve in my life from where I had been, and from a monster to a magnanimous person. And the ADW knocks on my door one morning. He's like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that you won the contest in the prison. And so they always give out this store bag for contest winners. He's like, you can't have it because you're in segregation, but I thought you'd like to know that you won. I was like, wow, that was cool. And the activities coordinator came and said, we sent your poem out to the local library for what they were doing, and you did really well out there too. And they actually offered to send you books. So I was able to start getting books from the local library sent in. And so I started to dive into the John C. Maxwell's of the world and these leadership books and leadership series, and just consumed it. And 19 months into this 5-year sentence, I'm a completely different person. I'm smiling. I'm not angry. I'm at peace in this little cell. Me and Mallory talk all the time, like he made sure I knew we weren't friends, but yeah. One day I get called down to SEC and they're like, man, we've seen some really significant change in you. We're instituting a new program in the MDOC called Thinking for a Change, and we want inmates to teach it to other inmates. If you'll study the course material and present to us how you teach it, we'll let you out of the hole to go teach it. It's like, yeah. The guy didn't die, by the way. He came out of the coma.
Got you.
Recovered.
So just 5 years.
He's okay. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, of course. Give it to me. So I go through it, and, it's all cognitive behavioral therapy, right? It's about training yourself to think before you act. Easy stuff. Smashed right through it. Like, this is easy. Of course, I'll train him this way, blah, blah, blah. Comes up. All right, we're going to let you out of the hole. Go do it. I'm like, dude, this is insane. All right, let's go. As we were leaving, Mallory, I say, hey, Mallory, I hate that you call me white boy, man. It's racist. It's disrespectful. I don't like it. All right, white boy, go change the world. Mm. All right. So we go out, and I think we're going to go to general population to go do this. We go this way, and they take me to protective custody. And I'm like, is this a joke? You're kidding me, right? No. You're going to make me go to protective custody? You realize that I am a well-known gangbanger in this prison, in all these prisons. They're going to kill me if they know that I'm in here. Well, you can go back to the hole. Guess I'm going in. So I go in, and I get my first class. A couple days in, I go to get my first class. There's 30 people in there, 30 men in the day room, a couple COs. And part of Thinking for a Change is that you have to, the very first day is stand up, state your name, why you're in prison. Mm-hmm. 27 of them are pedophiles. I'm like,
oh.
Wow.
The other 3 walked out. Like, fuck this class. They
right.
left. Excuse my French, by the way.
Wow.
And
how did that make you feel in that moment? That these were the people that you were supposed to help, the very people that had hurt you your whole life?
It literally took just a few seconds for me to go from, I'm going to kill everybody in this room, to, no, you're not. No, you're not. No. I think differently. I am different. You're human beings, and you need to think differently. I am the byproduct of what you do to kids.
Right.
And as soon as I said that, the light hit in my mind. I'm going to teach this whole class from the victim's perspective to the predator. And I'm going to show y'all, because some of them are in PC because of me. You. I used to hunt pedophiles, right? We used to do some horrible stuff to pedophiles in prison. And I taught them that this man that you guys have known, this is what happens to the kids that you abuse, right? Some of them grow up to be me or worse. Some of them kill people. Some of them turn around and do the same abuse. And so I started to teach them this class for 12 weeks. I taught Thinking for a Change from the perspective of a victim to the predators. I don't know if it sunk in. I didn't want to know. I didn't keep up with any of them. I just taught the class. I did it from a place of love, kindness, and compassion for humanity, that maybe I can fix 27 pedophiles so you don't go out and rape other kids. It's worth it for me to suck that up if I can help save a kid.
It saves, yeah.
But it's such a testament, though, because that thought that you had when Sharna asked the question, what did you feel in that moment? And you said it took a few seconds. Because you became a different person, because awareness came in and flooded your body and your mind, you were able to have a different thought. And I think that is when we all talk transformation and self-help, all those words sound good. That is the ability to transform, is all of the work before that to lead up to being able to have a different thought, from I'm going to kill you to I am the reason and the catalyst to help these people change. I am the perfect person to show that and to help them.
Yeah. And I talk about that moment in my book. That was the moment that I knew that I was somebody else, that I was a different person.
Yeah.
Right? That I'm no longer a captive to my past. Right? I'm not. And so taught the class. I ended up staying in protective custody for a little bit after that because it was peaceful.
Yeah.
And I knew that at some point I'm going to have to go face this gang that I've been a part of for many, many years. And they're not going to like it. And it's probably not going to end well, but we'll put positive thoughts out. And that time came. So I got out and went to the head in the yard, and we're going to go spend it. They were all like, "Oh, Sonny's back. What?" And I've been gone for 2 years,
right.
2+ years. And we go walk the yard. Tell him, like, Govayo, listen, I'm going to retire, bro. I'm out. You know, that's not happening, Sonny. I kind of figured you were going to say that, but I'm out. I've been faithful and loyal to this stuff for years. Dude, I've put in so much work. I'm done. Just let me go. It's not going to happen. I knew it was coming. For the next year, I was stabbed 5 times. I've been beat with locks. I have holes in my dome from the locks. You can see some of the scars up here. Stabbed 5 times. One was a bookshelf right there that almost went right.
Wow.
Right? Because he was going for my neck. He would jump me in the bathroom. They locked me in the chow hall. I was sitting there at a table, and they just come up 4 of them from 4 sides and just beat the. That's why I got these scars all over my hands, because they put my hand to protect my head. And
right.
it just wouldn't stop. And I'm like, dude, they transferred me to another facility. Doesn't change nothing, right? Somebody's just going to send a letter or make a phone call,
Right.
And finally I had to, there's only one way they're going to stop. They only speak one language. And so I severely punished the leader at the next facility that I was at. And when I got to the next facility, one of the head of the yard came up and said, "Bro, they never should have touched you. You're retired. Respectfully, they'll never touch you again. Cover your stuff," which is why I got it all covered. Cover your stuff up. Go on about your time. And that was it. So it took about a year. A lot of pain, a lot of violence, but it was done.
Did you have any repercussions for your retaliation, the punishment, as you call it? No.
Nope.
Not in your sentencing or anything?
Nope.
Right.
Which was shocking.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't know I did it.
Oh,
so
got it.
I don't talk about it in the book, and I don't like to glorify the violence at all. Like,
of course.
I don't talk about a lot of prison stuff on podcasts and things that I go on. Just, I don't ever want people to. There's a lot of tough ass ex-convicts that are out there right now running them hundreds of millions of views, and you're big tough Wes Watsons. And most people that have done hard time are quiet, reserved, grateful. They're just happy to be free, right? That's how you can tell some of these tough guys. I was a shot caller. Yeah, you were. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I roll.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Well, and I think the idea too, with you sharing your story, all the details that you are sharing, thank you for sharing them, is 100% not to glorify any of it.
No.
But we talk about this in transformation and healing, like the light and the dark and the shadow and it all does exist. And I think with your story, it is an incredible example of going through what most people would think, yeah, there's worse and it could get better. But to live that life being the hardest of the hard, to be able to come out of that, I hope that me, when I'm dealing with an issue, when someone is driving in their car listening to this podcast, that they're able to say, if he can endure that, the pain, the violence, I want to even say at times the guilt, the shame, the self-hatred, for the pain that you caused for having to go up against all of that, much less what you went through personally with the abuse. To be able to put yourself in a position to spend the rest of your life helping other people to change. If you can do it, Sonny, we all
Anybody can
do that.
I have no special powers and nobody else has. Right? It's just a choice. Right? It's absolutely a choice. So I spent the rest of my time learned yoga. I got 30 convicts stretched out on the back 40 doing yoga.
Yeah.
Like out of a book. I was doing yoga wrong. Now that I know about yoga, like, oh yeah, I probably wasn't doing that right. But whatever. We were trying, we were building. You know, one of my favorite things that happened to me all the time now is people are like, I can't even picture you like that. I can't picture you as this mean, violent, gangbanging human being. That's the greatest thing anybody could ever say to me.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, thank you. Right? Because that wasn't me.
Right. Exactly.
That was the 3-year-old that got shattered and became something.
Yeah.
I never even got a fucking shot.
Yeah.
Right? That's not who I wanted to be. That wasn't me. Right? And I don't care if you don't believe me. You don't have to believe me. I don't do this so you believe me. I don't care. Right? I'm so grateful that you can't picture me like that because I can't either. It feels like it's somebody else's life.
Yes.
Right? When I walked out of prison this time, I had a whole different view. There's a picture in my book of the day that I walked out. I never thought I was going to make it. And they just like to play with me, man. I was supposed to get out 2 weeks before I got out. And that Sunday, like, hey, the records lady's on vacation, so we can't let you go. You have to wait till next Monday. See how detrimental that is for somebody that did 18 years?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to leave tomorrow,
Yeah.
and I can't? Let me go sit down for 7 more days. And then on that 7 more days, there was something on your background check where you're not going out, I think next week. And now you're I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I know what you want me to fail, and will not let you do that. And so that was when I walked out. I fell.
Yeah.
I couldn't even stand up.
Wow.
On your
It
knees.
it was almost like blackout tunnel vision. Like when they opened the cage, I was like, I can't breathe. And I must have laid there in that position for 10 minutes, just sucking that pavement. Like, I can't believe I made it. And then reality hit, right? I had this plan of, oh man, I'm on point. I work out. I know what I'm doing. I'm ready. I'm ready to go, inspire the world, get out, boom. And then reality hits. You are a caveman in this world. Put your chip in the chip reader. What the hell is a chip? And a chip, what is a chip reader? The chip. What chip? On your card. There's nothing on the card. It's a card. There's the chip. What chip?
Yeah.
I'm a caveman. Look at this thing. That's a TV in your hand. I'm stuck. Like, it's amazing. What the? I'm a caveman. I don't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
Right? So one thing I know how to do is music. Love that. Met a guy in Guitar Center. Is like, dude, you should be in our band. Yes, I should. Get in a band. I went to work. I had a demolition job because my ex-wife, I met a woman while I was in there. You can read about her. She's fun. But I got introduced through her to a supervisor in a local union in Cleveland, Ohio. So we moved to Akron when I got out. I did an out-of-state parole, and I went to Akron, Ohio. And I started working in Cleveland in demolition with Precision Pro Cut, doing demolition in the laborers 310 union, and I loved it. It was like, I mean, I was in the best shape of my life. Big dude, 250, built solid, chucking concrete everywhere and jackhammers and just destroying stuff. And I was like, this is fantastic. Ugh. Right? And it's a good job, makes good money. Then I started doing music, but I realized very quickly, my wife at the time, you want to, both of us go to work, come home, make dinner, clean up, watch TV, go to bed, rinse and repeat. I've been sitting on my ass for 18 years. I got some life to live. I got things to do. Right? I know I can't catch up what I've lost, but there's a whole lot of time left, and I don't want that life. And so you're a great person, but we're not meant to be, right? And so it was hard for her on that divorce, but it ended up amicably, and been friends long after that. Family's very supportive. She's remarried now, has a great husband, and then I branched off and found online dating,
Right.
which is completely new, right? Like, and then I met Jennifer Lynn Cleveland, who's in a halfway house. I'm like, oh man, I feel your pain, and just clicked. And she love bombed me. Getting out in June, you should come live with us. I live with my parents. I have a house, big, massive house in Mentor, Ohio. You should come out. At this point, I'm just, I'm drinking with my buddies from work and being a bachelor at 35, 36, enjoying life. And I'm like, okay, there's some stability because I'm horribly codependent. I'm stuck on my own, right? I've been alone my whole life. I don't like it. And so, sure, let's go see the house. I go there. Parents, like, we're going to live with your parents. I'm 35. Like, I'm going to live with your parents? No, this is a big house. Like, parents are cool. Oh, what? Really? Okay, awesome. She's got a 13-year-old kid without a dad. So, all right, fine, yeah. So 2 months into getting to talk to her and all that, I move in with her in Mentor, Ohio, into this big house. And she's pregnant. And I'm like, how do you get pregnant at 35? She's 37. She's older than me.
With you?
Yours?
Yours, okay.
Okay.
And got the greatest thing I've ever felt. For the first time ever, I felt love. When Roman was born, it's the first time I ever felt like love for another human being, right? Like even my other two kids, like I was in prison when Dalen was born, and
Right, you were a different person now.
Right, Roman, I was there the whole time, and like this little piece of life, it gave me renewed hope. And so I started doing music, and I was doing really well, right? Like I was with Jen, and we had Roman now, but I'm touring. I'm like, my band blew up, and I'm doing tours all over the Eastern Coast. I'm doing Chicago, Detroit, Pittsburgh, all over the place with my band. And I'm really like, man, this is the life. I got a shot, boom, boom. And at the same time, I'm still like, I'm experimenting with like drugs, and like I've never done drugs before. I've been in prison my whole life. While there were some drugs that were available, nothing like it's out here, right? And like I hate hard stuff like crack, heroin, fentanyl, like that stuff kills people. So I've never even tried it. But cocaine, that's just like, why not? We're going on stage. Well, that's what everybody does, right? And so I just strayed away from everything that I had learned because reality hit me. Like this world that I wasn't expecting hit me. I didn't know what the world was. I thought the world was everybody goes to work, blah, blah, blah. No, it's life. People are living. And then COVID hits. And we're like, well, I guess we're just going to stay in the house. This is okay with me. I've been this is the best type of incarceration you could ask for. It's my house, plus you're paying me. Oh, let's go.
Right.
And I started YouTubing. Did really successful on YouTube. And that was the moment that happened, I found an opportunity to inspire somebody. And so I started to do that. And I started to then I started to remember, like, this is what I'm here for.
And that becomes addictive, doesn't it?
This is what when you get that message from somebody that's like, dude, you really just helped me big time.
Yeah.
Like, it's the best drug in the world. So I then decided that I'm leaving Jen. She's a very miserable human being. She's a narcissist. And so, they start with love bombing. And then when you don't do what they want, I'm leaving. I don't want to be with you anymore. And she went ballistic. My son was 2 years old, and that was the last time I saw him for 4 years. She 100% used him against me. Ended up homeless. She destroyed my car, destroyed everything that I owned. And then when I did start to get back up, took me a couple of weeks. I got a new condo, broke into, trashed all our biker friends, right?
Wow.
Get a new car, trashed. Get a new bike, trashed. What am I supposed to do here? At the same time, I get on a podcast from England with a girl named Claire. It's called Boot Camp for the Mind and Soul. She's my wife. I fell in love with that woman in an hour. Got on a podcast with her, and for the first time in my life, I felt like somebody saw me and just didn't judge me. And like, she is the epitome of kindness, right? And I'm like, I think I love this woman. Oh, crap. And then we started talking every day. And eventually she's like, you got to get out of there, right? She's not letting you see the kid anyway. I'm literally staying so that I can see my son, but she's not letting me.
Right.
Not going to let me see this kid. I'm going to have to go to court and do all this other stuff. So I packed up my stuff, and she said, let's go to California. So I got on my motorcycle and packed my stuff up, and I left, chasing the sunset, and then crashed the motorcycle in Cincinnati.
Oh, no.
And I'm laying there on the ground like, what, dude? What, man? I saw it as a sign that the world was saying, commit. Go get the rest of your stuff in your car. Screw that bike. Get your cats. Get all your stuff and go.
Right.
And I did. And it's the greatest decision I ever made in my life. I moved out to California. We wrote my book. I started a nonprofit that has my name, the Von Cleveland Foundation. And we built a cat cafe. And I have my soulmate in my life, right? Like, it's everything together, right?
And Sonny, I'm laughing. You have to explain cat cafe. You're like, we have a cat cafe.
Oh, you don't know cat cafes? Cat cafes are the shit.
So-
I'm
Well,
telling
that's
you.
her idea.
Tell us what it's called and just give us
It's called
a quick what it's
Frisky
about.
Business, Palm Springs Cat Cafe. It's the only cat cafe in the Coachella Valley, and it's a coffee house that has cats in it.
Yeah.
And we get them out of the shelter.
It's amazing.
Until we can help get them adopted, because we don't like animals being stuck in cages.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I'm trying to fast forward now because I know we're running short on time, because I really
And
want to talk about Operation
Yes.
Light Shine.
Yes. But I could
wrote the
listen
book.
to every ounce of your story and can't wait to read your book. So thank you.
Operation Light Shine became a thing of divine providence for me. So I've won congressional awards now. I was Palm Springs Person of the Year 2023. I've done all this really good stuff, saved all these lives, and I don't care, right? Like that's not in it for me. Like, I don't do these things for recognition for that. I do it because I get these messages from people, from parents. Like, you saved my kid's life. You don't even know that. He watched a TikTok video of you, and he's different.
Wow.
Or a guy that was like on the verge of suicide because he's been abused his whole life. And he's like, you just gave me hope that I can get through it. Dude, you can. You so can. And you're worthy of that. Right. And then I met this girl on TikTok. She sent me a DM on TikTok, and I try to answer every DM. Right. Like, I'm never going to be that guy that's got all these followers and I don't ever answer, because 90% of them are just people that want some attention. But some of those people need it. Some of those people are like, I never thought you'd answer. I literally was going to kill myself last night. You saved my life. And I'm like, you can't put that into to words, right? What that does for you. I even have one girl, there's so much to get to, but she, after 24 years, got the courage to turn her father in. He's been on the run for 20 years, and now he's sitting on $5 million bail in jail. Because she, after sitting down with me, she's got the courage to turn him in. And so these are the reasons why I do this, right? Because there's a palpable, tangible change in people's lives that could be had. So I meet this girl, Tracy, on TikTok. She says, let's connect on LinkedIn. It's where all the professionals are. I don't know anything about it. So I jump on LinkedIn with her. She introduces me to Dane Daniels. And Dane Daniels says, dude, I want to introduce you to a couple of buddies of mine in this organization called Operation Lightshine. I think you'd really like them. So we all jump on a Zoom call together, and I meet Jim Cole and Brian Waite. And after an hour or so on the call, you guys are the heroes that I needed when I was a kid. That sentence changed all of our lives, I think. They invited me to come to Jacksonville. They're like, we do these events in Jacksonville. So right after this, I'm scrolling through Instagram and I see Tim Tebow. And I'm like, is that Tim Tebow? I'm a big sports nut from prison. Like, all I know about Tim Tebow is Gator legend, NFL not so much. He's on the Sean Ryan podcast talking about the 20,000 new cases of child abuse that are reported every 30 days in this country. And I'm like, good on you, Tim. I didn't know you were in that fight. Good stuff. Fast forward back. Get invited to Jacksonville for Operation Lightshine. They do what's called an intercept task force. And so come down for this event. Come see it. You got to see it in real time. So I fly to Jacksonville. And so what Operation Lightshine does, they build intercept task forces. They use federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies, and they fund them. They pay for their salaries. They provide the technology. These are all Homeland Security, FBI, all these people come together to provide the technology these men and women need to fight child exploitation online and human trafficking. Last year, they took down the largest dark web forum in the world with over 1 million registered users.
Wow.
You don't accidentally get on that website.
No.
Every one of them signed up, and you all abuse kids. You all trade in child sexual abuse material like it's baseball cards on the internet, and they took it down. And so going in there and seeing all these agents, who walks in the door? Tim Tebow. I'm like, that's divine providence. And I've been with him ever since. I can't look away. When I see, we saved 25 kids in 3 days.
Wow.
We found, as a unit, as all of us all working together, 25 missing kids in northern Florida. And like, I don't have words for that, right? For me, where I've been, to be sitting in a room with people I never knew existed, right? Like I gave a speech to the entire room, and there wasn't a dry eye in the room, right? Like, these agents are killing themselves for this job. They have to watch this abuse all day to try to identify a location, identify where this kid is, to try to find them. They're drinking themselves to death. Their vicarious trauma is ridiculous. And they never get to hear from the survivors, from the people that they rescue. They never hear from them. They come in, the kid's whisked off to CPS, on to the next one. They are so overloaded with work. There's 70 new pieces of content every 60 seconds are created.
Every 60
in
seconds.
this country. 350 million new pieces of CSAM material are produced every year in the United States. Every state, they're everywhere, because there's not enough awareness. The government spends $40 billion a year on the counter drug fight and $200 million a year on child protection. Tim Tebow, Jim Cole, they went and testified before Congress in 2023 and asked for more money because we're only getting $105 million.
And
they cut it by $2 million. The next year budget was $103.
okay, so
I don't understand all of this conversation about protecting our fucking kids, and yet it seems to be the last thing that we're doing.
They need the victims. They need the problem.
Right.
Because then the government has the excuse to spend $40 billion, because how much of that $40 billion is actually making it into the pockets of these politicians?
Right.
Right? Why would you not take $1 billion? What can you do with $40 billion you can't do with $39 billion?
Right.
And give that $1 billion to the people that are saving and protecting kids. I'm in. I can't look away.
Is it worse here than it is in other countries? Have you ever looked into it?
It's horrible everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's horrible everywhere. Like, Operation Lightshine isn't just here. Like, these guys are flying to Brazil to help them with Clearview technology. They're flying.
Right.
Jim Cole's
Right.
in Poland right now.
Right.
Like, this is
everywhere.
Interpol, right? They're trying to. The largest web forum on the dark web was ran from Franklin, Kentucky, and Toronto, Canada. Benjamin Faulkner and Patrick Falte. There's a wonderful podcast called Hunting Warhead that talks about it. You should check it out. But their server was in Sydney, Australia. They tracked it to Sydney, Australia. This young hacker, he's an ethical hacker, tracked it and found it. So he got Paul Griffith, who's a big time in the scene in England. They flew to Sydney, and that's when they found out Operation Lightshine and that team already infiltrated this website, took it over.
Wow.
And now they ran it for 11 months and arrested over 200 perpetrators, saved countless
so glad
kids.
that
That's
they did.
And so
incredible.
to see this now, to be a part of this, I'm partnered with them right now. We're in contract, but I'm looking forward to like a lifelong work with these guys because my voice, my story can inspire these victims that are listen, I don't care if anybody never hears my story again. If that kid can hear it and it can save his life, so that you know that the trauma you've already endured does not have to define who you are. It doesn't have to define the rest of your life.
Right.
Some of these kids have been horribly abused. They're traumatized, right? They're trafficked by their parents. Their parents are the abusers.
Yeah.
That's
it's
trauma.
really awful stuff.
Yeah.
And they need some quick interjection. You need to know that this doesn't have to define your life. I'm a card-carrying example of that.
Yeah, you
right?
are.
Sonny,
I'm a card-carrying example. And so go to operationlightshine.org. Help them. This is all privately funded. Tim Tebow gives over $2 million a year to this. And this is just one that he works with. He works with tons of them.
yeah.
Be better.
Yeah.
Don't put your head in the sand. $10 can save a life. What you throw away at Starbucks every week could save a kid's life.
Yeah.
It takes awareness. That's it. There's a Facebook post that was made a few months ago that a guy shared that he saw, that the neighbor saw, and then said, I know something like that, called in, and this child was saved within 3 days because you shared a Facebook post. You don't have to spend money. Don't bury your head in the sand. Share a post. We're posting content nonstop about this. We're giving parents tips on how to protect your kids. The white van that used to kidnap kids looks like this now.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
It's a video game. You open it up with Roblox. You open it up with PlayStation and Snapchat. And it's very easy to protect your kids. It's not hard. It takes a little bit of parental oversight to pay attention. Educate your kids.
But it takes having this conversation.
It takes having this
and
conversation.
listening and not burying your head in the sand and saying, we need to look at how this is happening and not just turn the other way.
And
so thank you.
The number one thing I run into is, I don't want to hear that. Oh, that makes me uncomfortable. What do you think
But it's happening.
10-month-old's feeling?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You're uncomfortable
exactly.
hearing it? Why don't you do something?
Exactly.
How about
I'm sorry, did you
do
just say a
something?
10-month-old?
Benjamin Faulkner and Patrick Faulty were running the largest web forum. This is the most heartbreaking part of it. This is why Jim Cole, I think, is so dedicated. They were tracking these two. They knew what was coming. And then they just were overworked and exhausted and said, they're staying put. They're not going to do nothing. And they took the tail off. And that night, they raped that 10-month-old for hours. Or a 4-year-old, one of the two. The 4-year-old's parent brought the 4-year-old to Faulkner and Faulty and let them create content, rape this kid.
Oh my God, Sonny.
People don't think it happens. They think that this is something that happens in foreign countries. I was raped most of my life. This stuff is real.
Yeah.
And it takes us to fix it, right? We have to fix it. All you got to do is give that much of a shit about it and fix it. Stop burying your head in the sand. Stop looking away. These kids can't look away, right?
Where is the first place? Because I want this information out there. I could talk to you for another hour, but what is the first step for a parent when you say have the conversations and don't bury your head in the sand? Where do they go and what do they do?
Go to operationlightshine.org.
Resources and information.
Period. Google it. Ask ChatGPT. Right?
And is there a
The
place?
resources right here. You just have to get over your own discomfort of hearing it because it happens. People don't think it happens. They think that trafficking is like Mexican cartels or some foreign shipping container in another country. It's happening right in this neighborhood.
Right.
In your neighborhood, in your schools,
I promise
in
you,
your
if
churches.
you just go up and Google this block, one person in this block is in possession of CSAM material. It's so
that's
prevalent. It's
devastating.
the fastest growing crime in the world. We cannot slow it down because we don't have the resources.
Right. Well, this sounds like a good place to start. Go to Operation Light Shine. If anyone wants to check out your book, which I highly recommend, White Boy, I'll hold it up. Hey, White Boy.
Conversations of Redemption.
Conversations of Redemption. And thank you for continuing to have these conversations of redemption and shining your light on all the things that need to be looked at so we can all be better.
Well, I thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you.
What you guys do is healing the world, right? It might not even seem like it, right? But you giving people a platform to speak it's what's needed, right? We need to spread this word, man.
Yes.
We do
thank
need
you
to
for
spread the
saying
word.
that.
For anybody here that has been watching this episode, first of all, thank you so much, and listening to us, thank you so much for tuning in and hearing this unbelievable, incredible story and heartbreaking story, and know that it's probably 2 to 3 degrees away from you, someone is experiencing the same thing. And that is why I encourage you, I ask you, and I beg you to share this episode. Fuck our analytics. It's not about that. It is about sharing this episode to people, anyone, whether you think they need it or they don't. This is in your world. It is in your space. It is in your neighborhood. It is in your schools and in your churches. And it's something that you need to share with people so you can have the information. You can hear a story firsthand about how someone can come through it, and also a story firsthand of exactly what could be going on. And then when you go to Operation Light Shine, you are going to be able to get those resources, that information, start to have those important conversations, and maybe share some information that could help somebody else. I cannot tell you how powerful this was for me sitting here, and I hope you pass it on so it can continue to be powerful in this world. We love you. Thank you so much for tuning into Oldish. Again, share it around, and we'll see you on the next one.
There are a lot of things that we talked about in this episode today. It's one thing to hear about this. It's another to take action and create the life that you want. If there's something that you want to create in your life, more fulfillment, more happiness, more joy, getting in touch with your intuition and how to make better decisions, then go to my website, randyspelling.com, and find out more there. Thanks.